Welcome to Vedic Counselor, where ancient Vedic wisdom meets modern scientific insight.
All right, today we are diving into something you probably have sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. We're going to explore how ancient Vedic astrology claims it holds some serious cosmic power. Yeah, we're talking about the astral power of Black Gram. I mean, it's a wild question, isn't it? Can something so simple, so ordinary, actually have a real impact on your fate? Well, the text we're digging into for this explainer suggests that the answer is a big, resounding yes. So, let's see how. So, what is this stuff exactly? It's called Kali Urad, or Black Gram. And according to Vedic astrology, that deep black color and its dense, heavy nature, well, those aren't just physical traits. They're what link it directly to some of the most powerful and, let's be honest, most feared planets out there, Saturn, also known as Shani, and the shadow planets, Rahu and Ketu. Okay, so here's the big idea behind its power. The core belief is that Black Gram acts like a cosmic sponge. It's thought to literally absorb a negative energy, cleanse all that karmic gunk from past lives, and basically strengthen the person using it. This idea of absorption, it's the key to everything else we're about to talk about. So keeping that cosmic sponge idea in mind, the texts lay out some pretty powerful remedies for some major astrological headaches. We're going to look at 3 of the big ones: the heavy hand of Saturn, a tricky situation called Kal Sarp Yoga, and ancestral issues, which are known as Pitra Dosh. Let's start with Saturn, or Shani. The source material really zooms in on this super challenging period known as Sade Sadi. We're talking about a 7.5-year transit of Saturn that's believed to bring major delays, serious hardships, and just intense mental pressure. It's a real slog. So to calm down that difficult Saturn energy, there's a very specific remedy you're meant to do on Saturdays. It involves soaking the dal, mixing it with other important astrological ingredients, and then making an offering of it. The whole ritual is capped off by chanting a specific mantra 108 times to really lock in your intention. Now, while Saturn can be a long, slow burn, other problems can pop up out of nowhere. And that brings us to Kal Sarp Yoga. Astrologically, this happens when all the planets in your chart get trapped between Rahu and Ketu. It's often described as a serpentine grip on your life, causing all these sudden roadblocks and illusions. The remedy for this one is super symbolic. You're supposed to do this on a new moon night or a Saturday. The idea is you physically circle the dal, our cosmic sponge, remember, around your body. You're essentially using it to soak up all that negative energy before leaving it as an offering at a temple. And notice how precise that is. You don't just wave it around, it's 7 times. And it has to be anti-clockwise. This stuff isn't random. We keep seeing that the specific details of these actions are a huge, vital part of the remedy. The number itself is believed to hold its own power. Okay, the third big issue we're looking at is Pitra Dosh, which basically translates to ancestral problems. The belief here is that unresolved stuff from your ancestors can actually mess with the current generation's life. So the goal is to help bring them peace, and in doing so, you get their blessings. So let's just take a quick pause and recap. For Saturn's hardships, the main action is donation. For the sudden obstacles from Kal Sarp, it's a physical ritual of revolving an offering. And for those ancestral issues, it's a spiritual offering during a ritual called Tarpon. See? 3 very different problems, each with its own specific, tailored remedy. Now, it's not all about these huge astrological crises. These traditions also explain how Black Gram can be used for more common, everyday stuff. Things like money troubles, personal protection, and just general well-being. Let's start with a big one, money. The source we're looking at has a remedy specifically designed to help clear heavy debt and get rid of what it calls Saturn-related financial blockages. This whole process is pretty simple. You just place 21 little grains under your pillow on a Saturday night and then offer them the next morning. It's a small action, but, and this is a big but, it is not a one-and-done kind of fix. Yep, 43 consecutive days. And that is so crucial because this isn't about some quick magic trick. The source material hammers this point home. Discipline and long-term commitment are what actually bring the results. The duration itself is a core part of the remedy's power. Okay, next up, protection. According to these beliefs, a really simple charm can create a personal protective shield against all sorts of negativity, what people often call the evil eye or even psychic attacks. This is a super practical one, something you can carry around. You make this tiny pouch with just 11 grains and keep it on you. But it also needs a little maintenance. A weekly cleanse on Saturday where you burn the old doll that's been soaking up the week's bad vibes and replace it with fresh grains. Now, you can't just dive into these remedies without knowing the rules. There's basically a user manual with some very specific guidelines that are considered absolutely essential if you want them to work. So, what are the rules of the road? First, you got to use the whole lentil, with the skin still on. Second, timing is everything. Saturday or the new moon are your power days. You also have to maintain a sattvic, or pure, lifestyle on the days you do the remedy. That means no meat, no alcohol, no anger. And there's that commitment again. You have to stick with it for at least 21 to 43 days. Finally, the texts make a point of noting that women should skip these intense remedies during their period. And woven through so many of these practices is the power of sound. The mantra. This one, Om Sham Shani Namaha, is the main mantra for Saturn. It's considered a key ingredient for focusing your mind and really directing the energy of the remedy where it needs to go. So, as we start to wrap this up, what's the ultimate point of all this? Well, these practices are laid out as a real, tangible path to cleansing some deep karmic issues and shielding yourself from negativity, all by using a simple, natural thing as your primary tool. I want to leave you with this final blessing, which comes straight from the source text. I think it just perfectly sums up the entire promise here, that the energy of the simple lentil can wash away negativity and bring the blessings of discipline and a long life. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Whether you see all this as deep spiritual wisdom or just fascinating folklore, it brings up a pretty cool question. What other ancient knowledge, what other powerful systems might be hiding right under our noses in the most common, everyday things we see?
If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel Vedic Counselor. For personal astrology consultation, horoscope analysis, or Vastu consultation, you can contact us on WhatsApp 919219539215 or visit our website www.vediccounselor.com. Thank you for watching.